Tonight on the MTN News.
A plane goes down in the Bighorn Mountains.
This was certainly a tragedy.
What we've learned so far about the crash that claimed the life of a 13-year-old girl.
Also, supporters of the Yellowstone Art Museum make a passionate plea to commissioners to rethink those funding cuts.
Bottom line is that the commissioners have made a fatal flaw, in my opinion.
We'll tell you what they decide.
And let the school year begin.
I just think the community at Central Heights and watching that in action is my favorite part of the first day.
Thousands of Billings students head back to class on the first day of school.
The MTN 530 News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Andrea Lutz.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, the FAA is investigating a deadly plane crash that happened about this time yesterday in the Bighorn National Forest.
A 13-year-old girl was killed and 3 others seriously injured in that crash, all members of the same family.
Charlie Kleps has been finding out more.
Well, we don't know much about those involved in Monday's plane crash. We do know that a 13-year-old girl named Amelia Palmer was killed. We also know that her 3 family members who were also on board were seriously injured, with 2 of them taken to hospitals here in Billings.
In Dayton, Wyoming, crashed with 1 fatality.
That was the heartbreaking news coming out of the Bighorn Mountains Monday night.
This was certainly a tragedy.
As a small plane crash killed at least one 13-year-old Amelia Palmer and left 3 others injured.
I go to this page every day to look up details from an official source.
For longtime commercial pilot Robert Katz, these tragic crashes are something he studies closely. His employer has asked him not to appear on camera, but he shared with us how he reviews these incidents.
First and foremost, the airplane was built in 1965, 60 years ago.
Katz says this is the aircraft that crashed and believes its age could have been a factor, along with the weight of the plane and how many people were on board and how close to the mountains the plane was flying.
It's entirely possible it was very close to gross weight, if not over its limit. That's going to affect its climb performance.
Katz says it's alarming how often these crashes are occurring. There have been 145 nationwide in just the past 2 weeks, including this crash Sunday in Red Lodge. And earlier this summer, another right outside Billings, killing Yellowstone County Commissioner John Oslin.
The circumstances of all of these incidents are, for the most part, preventable.
While it's still unclear what led to Monday's crash or whether any mistakes were made, Katz says it's a reminder of what can go wrong and why safety in the skies is so important.
The destination is the goal, but the expectation must always be to divert.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Flight records do provide a few more details about Monday's crash.
We know the plane crashed 8 minutes after departing the Sheridan County Airport. According to FlightAware, that plane took off at 4:02 Monday afternoon, but it crashed at 4:10 after reaching an altitude of about 6,300 feet.
The plane, a 1965 single-engine Piper Cherokee, is registered to a Sheridan man, and recent flight logs show multiple trips between Sheridan and Boise, Idaho in the past week.
Well, it was a scary scene on the Beartooth Highway over the holiday weekend, caught on camera by a tourist. The entire video is shared to our Q2 News Facebook page. But here's what happened. The Wyoming Highway Patrol says this Ford Mustang lost control near mile marker 27 just east of Yellowstone on the Wyoming side of the highway. The driver drifted off the road, rolled, but escaped serious injury. He was flown to Billings for treatment and released that same night, but they did cite him for careless driving. The agency is using this video to remind drivers to stay alert and slow down on mountain roads. Highway Patrol also thanks the many people who stopped to help, including a couple who flagged traffic for more than an hour.
An update now on a drowning in the Yellowstone River near Duck Creek Bridge last week. The victim has been identified as 49-year-old Jason Sims of Billings. Authorities say Sims was wading in the river when he slipped and was swept away. A witness who had to retrieve a phone to call for help stayed on scene until responders arrived. Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office helicopter returning from a separate rescue mission spotted Sims' body in shallow water and guided responders to recover it. Investigators have ruled that death accidental with no signs of foul play.
Funding cuts to the Yellowstone Art Museum drew heated outcry at today's Yellowstone County Commissioners meeting.
But despite those pleas, commissioners voted to move ahead with cuts to the YAM. Our David J. has the story.
Shame! Shame! Angry voices at the county commissioners meeting, many demanding answers about the huge budget cut to the Yellowstone Art Museum, which is looking at more than $100,000 less than last year. Commissioners stand by the decision, saying they don't owe the museum anything.
So you have nonprofit status, yet you stand up here and you would like taxpayers' money to support you,
as the other museums in the museum fund are receiving.
3 other museums are getting county dollars.
As you know, the chairman got into, the financial picture of each museum is unique in and of itself.
The Yellowstone County Museum needs work for ADA access. The Huntley Project Museum, not a county-owned museum, suffered catastrophic hail damage. And the Western Heritage Center is county-owned and gets yearly upkeep money. But the Yellowstone Art Museum has relied on county funding of $220,000 for several years, which went down to $188,000 last year and $50,000 this upcoming year. The county attorney's office says the funds for museums are all discretionary spending. Commissioners can spend the money how they need it and have the authority to reallocate that money. But others at the meeting disagree, including Steve Zabawa, who say the commissioners are incorrect and need to approve more money for the museum.
But it's just wrong to take money that's for a specific purpose and reallocate it for a different purpose when it says it right in the law not to do that and not to commingle.
Commissioners say it's a done deal for this year. The budget has passed. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Here's the situation this afternoon. We've had a cold front that's been moving down from Canada and clipping eastern Montana, moving off towards the Dakotas. This is very much a fall-like weather system. The first time we've seen this this season, where the cooler air continues to surge down. It's bringing a few showers along with it, but it isn't getting very much moisture to the ground. What it is doing is it's opening the door to some smoke and haze that's coming down. So that's affecting air quality here, especially from Cutbank on over towards Sydney. Glendive now has moved up into the unhealthy air quality. We've had some smoke and haze around the Billings area as well, and you can see by those yellow dots at least somewhat having an effect. Right now it's just the point where for most of southern Montana and northern Wyoming, it's either just creating a little haze in the sky or maybe it's causing a scratchy throat or some burning eyes. But as we take it from this morning and on into the next couple of days, we'll see more of that smoke continue to spill in with yet another front. We'll talk about that coming up.
Billings man says a neighborhood park was left dull and dry after TDS fiber crews came through this summer installing lines.
And now what used to be a green space is looking pretty brown and beat up. As our Matt Carmack shows us, this man is taking matters into his own hands to bring the park back to life.
I am here at one of the multiple parks in the Olympic Village subdivision in Billings. And as you can see, the grass is anything but green. There's a stark contrast between Scott Snyder's vibrant green grass and the public grass that sits just feet away.
I guess I am a nature lover.
Now a dull and colorless park sits in the middle of this neighborhood, which would typically be a vivid, sparkling green.
I mean, there's gorgeous trees and they're just dying.
Scott says this all started back in early July when a fiber optics company, TDS Telecommunications, started burying fiber in the neighborhood.
You know, nobody's really too concerned about getting this fixed.
According to Mark Schaff, a representative with TDS Telecommunications, the company is working to fix it. In a statement, Schaff writes, quote, "In coordination with the Billings Parks and Recreation Department, the irrigation system has been repaired and restoration efforts are underway. We appreciate residents' patience and look forward to continuing to work together with local officials as our project proceeds. But this isn't the only time TDS has left a neighborhood torn up. Almost 2 years ago, the same thing happened in the Billings Heights, tearing up front yards.
I was left with a mess in my yard and possibly broken sprinkler lines that I won't find out about now until I dig it up myself.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to get somebody in here to fix this. I know it wouldn't.
In Billings, Matt Carmack, MTN News.
Now, Scott says he's been in communication with the City Public Parks and Recreation Department and says they told him the company is responsible for fixing the damage.